The Schwartz is back. Orville Peck fighting in the streets. Ryan Coogler gushes for Nolan. Aronofsky says nothing beats rock. And is Robert Eggers the remake guy now?
Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call! Bueller.
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller.
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimblett to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello, classmates, and welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Joseph.
Whoops, I'm Peter.
And Tyler is nowhere to be seen.
So
I'm sure he's
feeling good.
right about now.
That's right.
According to him, he's come down with a case of a summer cold.
Yeah.
Which is the worst.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Hope you feel better, buddy.
Oh, fuck.
But he according to him, he is watching the movie of the week, and hopefully he'll be sending his thoughts in. He said he's watching it on his phone.
He's watching it in bed on his phone,
Yes.
just as
Carol Reed
Carol
and
Reed and Orson Welles would have wanted it that
he
way.
imagined being a filmmaker in 1949, and you had no idea that people would have access to watching your movie this way
Yeah.
on a little rectangle.
Maybe Ray Bradbury, anybody that read Ray Bradbury back then might think, okay, we can maybe one day. Because I swear to God, when I read Fahrenheit 451 in like junior high or whatever,
Yeah.
and I look back, even at the stuff back then that was kind of had already been come to fruition from his predictions, I was like, man, this guy was way ahead of his time. And then now thinking about it, I remember there was a scene in that book where they're talking about how 2 full walls had been taken up with television screens.
Yeah.
And they were installing a third wall in the room to more. And I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe that'll happen one day.
It's like Screen X.
Yeah.
Going to the movies and you're just surrounded by screen.
We have arrived. We're there.
Yeah. But
And we're burning books too, by the way.
I know we're back to burning books.
Yeah, that happened all of a sudden for some reason.
Burning and banning books, I guess.
Like John Mulaney says, I don't like these new Nazis.
Yeah. But welcome everyone else on YouTube Live and otherwise. Of course, the OG audio only classmates in podcast land. And another big thing today, it's Flag Day.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you, all dear friends, for coming to my birthday.
That's right.
And no, we're not alluding to someone else in the world's birthday.
An orange shit stain.
Yeah.
No, it's my birthday.
No, it is Pete Abeda's birthday.
Yeah, that's right. I have, I unfortunately shared that day. It's been tainted by that cunt.
Yes. Yes, it has. Also, you share it with Flag Day as well as
Boy George's birthday.
Boy George, and I guess maybe Jason Voorhees' birthday.
Oh, Jason Voorhees? That's Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah, that was yesterday.
That's yesterday.
One day off.
Yeah.
And then, oh, yeah, I forgot it's been on Friday the 14th.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah. Saturday the 14th, yeah.
And also a day in sitcom history, Seinfeld sitcom history.
Oh, yeah?
The infamous Keith Hernandez spit incident.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was 85, though, wasn't it?
No, it was 86.
It was 86. Okay, on my actual birthday.
On your actual birthday.
Cool. That's exciting.
Spit came in back into the left.
Whoa.
Where Keith Hernandez allegedly spit on Kramer.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a second spitter.
There was a second. I wonder if Dallas has listened to the last week's episodes yet, where we are constantly doing drops of his voice.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
He's a voice actor. We're getting his voice out there.
I know. We need to do more drops. I'm trying to figure out where we can fit him into the show in like a segment intro or something.
Maybe like like whenever we do trivia, just general trivia intro.
Yeah.
Something like that. General trivia segment or...
Yeah, because there was I did have like an intro that I recorded. It's Middle Class Film Class Movie Trivia Game, sponsored by Cameo.
Yeah.
And it was a pre-recorded like sound drop a long time ago. Maybe we can do a re-recording with Dallas.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. You've got a new birthday gift, I see, wearing it right now.
My Evanescence shirt featuring Nathan Fielder here.
Nathan Fielder as Sully,
Yeah,
Captain Sully.
The life cycle of Sully.
Yeah, from birthing to to retirement as an airline pilot. Landed in the Hudson River?
Yeah.
Right?
Miracle on the Hudson.
Yeah.
And Nathan Fielder landed the Miracle over the Mojave.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, fantastic.
Commercial airline pilot.
If you haven't watched the rehearsal season 2 yet, or season 1, to be honest, start with season 1. But yeah, you're missing out some of the best television out there.
But how's the birthday been so far? We're like halfway through the day now.
It's good. I woke up early, as you do when you're old, and
The last year of your 30s.
that's right.
Begins.
Next year, I'll be old.
Yes.
Now I'm still a youth in my mind.
Yeah.
No, my dad came down from Lincoln, and we had it's Father's Day tomorrow, and it's always my birthday near Father's Day, but this is the closest it ever is possible to be because Father's Day is the 3rd Sunday of every June, and this June Sunday was on the 1st. So the earliest Father's Day you're ever gonna get is Sunday the 15th ever.
Okay.
And since it's the 14th, it's like that's a close. So we always get together for a joint celebration, Father's Day, my birthday breakfast.
Oh, okay.
So we came down here and we had pancake breakfast at the old recreation center here in Elk Grove. Through like the Lions Club,
Oh, I see.
like a charity thing.
Oh, okay. Very cool. That was this
me.
morning.
Yeah, I did that this morning, and then we stopped by the nursery, picked up some plants, and then came back here, and I just did some tidying up because we're gonna barbecue some pizzas after this.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Barbecue pizza.
that's right.
Pizza.
Oops, wrong one.
Ooh, pop quiz.
Pizza. Yeah. Where was the? All right, pop quiz, Joseph. Where was the inception place of pizza?
Italy.
Yeah, more specific. What city?
Napolini.
Napolini.
Is that the Napoli? Was that's a place, right?
I'll give it to you. It's Naples. Yeah.
Ah, cool.
But correct.
Naples.
Very good.
Any place else, it's just sparkling pizza.
Yeah. That's right.
Sparkling bread
Exactly.
with red sauce. But no, Tyler's gonna
Yeah, it's okay.
miss out on that.
He's gonna be sleeping. That's all right.
Well, hopefully he's sleeping.
We'll miss him. But
Finishing the movie, hopefully.
yeah, hopefully.
And send us his thoughts imminently. But yeah, other than that, anything else?
No.
Pre-gab? Anything non-movie related?
No. I don't. All I want to do from here on out is talk about movies. That's it.
Okay. Well, let's get into some gab and chatter then.
Find some charity in ye, lad. Now's the time for gab and chatter.
Gab and chatter, movie news, movie discussion topics. Anything movie related we're going to talk about right now.
Yeah.
Pete.
I'll kick us off. We have big news for fans of parody movies and Mel Brooks. Spaceballs 2 is coming back. And
Just like he foretold in Spaceballs 1.
The prophets foretold. That's right.
Yeah.
So he will be playing, what was his character's name in that?
Yogurt.
That's it. Yeah, Yogurt. And a couple really cool things about this. And I'm not like the biggest Mel Brooks fan. And I'm also definitely not the biggest Spaceballs fan. I like some of the scenes from it, and I like a lot of the ideas from it. But the pacing of the comedy in that era was it just doesn't have the zhuzh that the modern comedies have, and it's a little hard for me to keep my attention on it. I know that's a little sacrilege, but I can very much appreciate that Mel Brooks was a trailblazer in the comedic world. So
Yeah.
mad respect to it. Just not like something that I go like, oh, I can't wait to watch another Blazing Saddles again, or Robin Hood Men in Tights. Just doesn't hold up. All that being said, really exciting is that Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement to reprise his role as Dark Helmet.
Yeah. He got him out.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks got him out of retirement.
And the weird thing is, he didn't come back for any of the Ghostbusters sequels.
No?
They asked him, he said no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like that's part of the news story. Was like when they said that they were, oh yeah, we're going to reboot this Ghostbusters franchise, and here's what's going to happen. He's like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah.
And then, but Mel Brooks, absolutely, that's a no questions asked, I think, situation.
Yeah. I have a lot of nostalgia with Mel Brooks because like my dad showed like History of the World and Spaceballs and Blazing Saddles to me at a very young age. We got a text.
Go to the message app and then just mute that.
No, I do that.
That first one, you just kind of like control click on it on the control click on the actual conversation.
Oh, this?
Yeah, old May family chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, control click on that, and then Yeah, there you
high
go.
alerts.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Or else it's gonna keep binging. Birthday
All those
messages.
birthday texts
Yeah.
coming through. Yeah, so my dad showed a lot of those movies to me at a very young age. Probably not the best idea, but especially like Blazing Saddles or something.
No, it's great. Learn what the N word is right off the bat.
Yeah. Dad, what's rape? Why does he like it so much?
Yeah. Why'd that guy really like rape? Is that like grape soda?
Yeah.
Because I like grape too.
And so there's like, there's a lot of nostalgia there for me. And it's like kind of like the American Monty Python a little bit.
Yeah, I can see it.
And the jokes are definitely dated nowadays.
So it feels like vaudeville when you look back at it.
But there's a lot of jokes that still land as well. Like comb the desert.
Yeah.
Giant comb, combing the desert.
Also, we ain't seen shit.
We ain't found
We
shit.
ain't found shit.
But then like the very like timely, like of the time racist jokes. It's like, all right, like, oh, that guy's got a boner. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah. Yeah, some of the stuff, and not a lot. I mean, most of the stuff that you can look back at a time with using racial slurs and things like that, I can oversee it and just kind of skim past it. You know what the era was.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you're reading, I don't know, Huckleberry Finn or something like that in, social studies or English in high school, and they're like, okay, kids,
Yeah.
there's some words in here that are offensive, and the point is to be offensive. So, and then,
Yeah.
and it's like you're basically given the N-word pass in class.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know as a kid now if you're allowed to do that as a teacher
Yeah.
or not, but it's like a historical sort of thing. But as far as the way the jokes go, some of them are exactly like that. Look, that guy's got a boner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is being directed by Josh Greenbaum, director of Barb and Star, Go to Vista Del
Oh
Mar.
my gosh, I'm so excited now. Even more.
He's directing it, and the script is being written by Benji Sammet, Dan Hernandez, and Josh Gad. And it's being described as a non-prequel, non-reboot sequel part 2, but with reboot elements, franchise expansion film.
What the fuck? Say that again.
It's a non-prequel, non-reboot sequel part 2, but with reboot elements, franchise expansion film.
Oh, that's such a great
We like the ring of that better than Legacy sequel.
Legacy sequel. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And then it will be suggested that the stars will have the original Bill Pullman, who played the hero Lone Star, and Rick Moranis as Dark Helmet. And then Keke Palmer is also expected to join the cast, along with Lewis Pullman, son of Bill Pullman.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
And then, and originally the late John Candy starred as Chewbacca parody Barf in the original film. So there's some stuff there to look forward to. Not till 2027, though.
Interesting that's getting a reboot, and also Naked Gun with Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
It's kind of around that same era. I mean, this predates.
Similar parodies.
Yeah, very similar in that regard. So
Yeah, so
something to look out for.
all you Spaceball fans, look out in 2027.
And then you told me about the Orville Peck thing.
Yes, Orville Peck. If anybody's familiar with Orville Peck, country, sort of alt country, more now mainstream country singer.
I like to call him a Canadian gay hipster cowboy crooner.
Yeah,
Turns out he's not Canadian. He's South African.
yeah. We thought the whole time thought
Yeah.
it was Canadian.
Yeah.
No, but we're getting another Street Fighter film apparently,
Yeah. And
starring Orville Peck.
Orville Peck's going to be what we assume is Vega, right? Because Orville Peck wears a mask.
Yeah,
when he performs.
a mask when he performs, and in anything he does, really.
Yeah, he's always when he's in character, because his real name is Daniel Tipout, I think it is. Pitout. I'm sorry, Daniel Pitout, who was in a bunch of like punk bands back in the day.
Yeah,
Not even back in the day, but just before he became the persona of a solo act, which is Orville Peck, a country group.
yeah,
And so since he appears as a masked man, he's tall and lanky. I would assume he's going to be Vega, because Vega wears a mask and he's tall and lanky.
yeah. And he wears a mask. It's like fitting for Orville Peck.
But-
And he's got the stature, I feel like, of that already. He's like a fit fellow.
Yeah, he's lean and wiry and looks like he could climb on the cage, because that's what Vega used to do.
Yeah. Along with Orville Peck will be Jason Momoa. Any guess who'd be playing? Blanca?
Probably. I mean, that's a good guess.
I mean, there's another Polynesian Street Fighter, but his abilities is that he's also a sumo wrestler.
Oh, is he supposed to be Polynesian? I thought he was supposed to be Japanese because he's a sumo
Well,
wrestler.
in the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, he's Polynesian.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Oh my gosh.
Like he's
that's so funny.
Hawaiian. But yeah, in the game, I guess he is he's Japanese.
He's just a sumo wrestler.
And then also Noah Centineo,
Mm-hmm.
who I think he was in Warfare
I don't know.
as well. He's people know him. I don't know him. Yeah. So
Well, the interesting thing about this movie is that it's going to be directed by Kitao Sakurai, who has an interesting catalog, mainly a writer and director, but this person directed that Eric Andre Bad Trip movie, that weird
yeah,
half like Man on the Streets, real life like reaction videos, and half scripted with what's that guy's name? The really funny guy, Lil Rel Howery.
oh yeah.
Lil Rel's in that, and then he directed pretty much the entire series of the Eric Andre Show, 62 episodes of the Eric Andre Show, which is just an insane movie or show in general. So that'll be weird. And then it's written by this upcoming Street Fighter movie, Dalan Musan. Never heard of the name before.
Lan Musan.
But that person wrote the story for the new Captain America with Anthony Mackie that just came out with Red Hulk.
Yeah.
He wrote that one, Captain America Brave New World. He wrote 6 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier and that crazy Nazi steampunk movie, Iron Sky, The Coming Race.
Oh.
So just a weird production crew. And then Orville Peck and Jason Momoa.
Yeah, and it's being well, yeah, you just said who it was directed by.
Yeah.
But they're like, it's the fact that we're getting another attempt at a live action Street Fighter movie. Maybe they're trying to follow the coattails of like the most recent Mortal Kombat movie.
Could be.
Because they're coming out with the second one of that, I believe.
Yeah, and Timo is directing that one.
They tried to have another Street Fighter movie in 2009, The Legend of Chun-Li, but it failed pretty badly.
Really? 09 you said?
2009, yeah.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
It's because they didn't have Jason Momoa in it.
Yeah, I don't even know what Jason Momoa was doing at the time. Game of Thrones? When did Game of Thrones come out? I don't remember. So yeah, so look forward to that. I don't think there's any more details about that, any release dates or anything, but
Oh, I was wrong. Timo is not directing Mortal Kombat 2, but he commented on it, and he's another like action director. And Simon McQuoid is directing the second one, which I believe he did the first one. Yeah, he directed the first one.
oh, okay.
But Carl Urban is in the second Street Fighter.
Johnny Cage?
Mortal Kombat 1. Which, yeah, he's coming back. He's coming as Johnny Cage.
Was there a Johnny Cage in the?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Kano stole the show in the first one.
That's right. If anybody, he would have been that because he's already Australian.
I think he died. I think Kano died, though, in the first one. And then also, they had a new character that wasn't in the games. Like, I can't remember the guy's name. It was somebody that he didn't care about.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to if you're fans of Orville Peck and his music. Well, now he's going to be a movie star in a video game adaptation.
Yeah, if you don't watch Orville Peck or you're not listening to Orville Peck, you should. The dude's awesome.
Yeah, it's got quite a voice on him.
Hey, Tyler's in the chat.
Yeah, he said LOL.
What are you laughing out loud at, Tyler? Oh my God!
Oh, fuck. Yeah. I'm gay.
Hi, Tyler. Anyways, all right. So what's next? What was up on the? We had the Orville Peck.
We have Robert Eggers.
Oh yeah, Robert Eggers is doing
Another remake.
Christmas Carol.
The king of remakes now. The Nosferatu.
And the rest.
And now this.
Yeah. I was gonna say I saw someone on Twitter say, how many movies until he becomes the remake guy? I say one more.
Yeah, one more.
If he does another one, then it's a trend.
I mean, he's got Labyrinth also.
If it happens
in the docket.
Yeah. I know he actually did comment on it, but until that happens, we'll see.
So yeah, I mean, that was sort of announced, and then this is also now announced. So it would be 3 if it all goes according to plan.
I figure 6 out of 10 people on the street who know nothing about movies, if you ask him who's he going to cast as Ebenezer Scrooge, they'd say Willem Dafoe.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. Who would we say would be the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future?
The
Ralph Ineson is one of them.
Ralph Ineson is definitely going to, or maybe he's his business partner. Bob Cratchit.
Oh yeah,
Is it Cratchit? Is that the business partner, or is that Tiny Tim's dad?
that is
Bob Cratchit's
It's
the
both.
good one, right?
Bob Cratchit is the.
No, he's his employee, but there's a business partner who dies before him.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it Waldorf and a star?
Yeah.
Or Marley and Marley?
Christmas Carol. Let's see. Oh, it's something Marley. Carol. Let's see who the characters are. All I know is that like weird, pale looking, like floaty ghost in the Muppet version.
It's like the introduction of the ghosts.
Yeah, she comes to him. That's Anya.
Anya.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh, you're saying that? Oh,
She's gonna play that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bob Cratchit. Tiny Carol. Tiny Tim. Timothy Chalamet. I think we should put his head on like a puppet body,
Oh yeah.
like what's in the Gerhard from that 30 Rock
Oh
clip
yeah.
we played.
Fezziwig. I feel like Bob Cratchit. If Timothy Chalamet wasn't it, he would be Bob Cratchit. Probably.
It could be good. It could be them. I thought Bob Cratchit is supposed to be more like an adult.
Timothy Chalamet's like in his 30s now.
He's still like a child. He's like an otter, like a wet otter. He's always going to be like a child. Tyler says, if Alan Rickman was alive, he would be the ghost of Christmas past.
So we got Marilyn Manson as.
Oh, that would be great, Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, if he wasn't like a weirdo
rapist. Yeah,
right?
a rapist.
Some sort of rapist.
Let's see who else. The ghost. What about the Merry Ghost? It could be John Goodman.
The present.
Yeah, the one.
That's the Ghost of Christmas Present.
I think that is. Yeah, I think, and that he's like the happy one. That could be John Goodman. And my only reference is the Muppet Christmas Carol.
I know that's like who I'm thinking of. That's like in my head. That's the original.
Yeah.
Who's gonna play Rizzo? Who's gonna play Gonzo?
I think the Ghost of Christmas Future, like the death one.
You never see their face.
No, not in that version.
It's always like a Reaper.
But it's like it's like a Reaper. I'm gonna say Bill Skarsgård.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that would have to be.
That would be great.
And Alexander Skarsgård plays.
He could be Bob Cratchit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, just get the whole family in there. Just get.
Kate Dickey is the mom.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
She's in The Witch
Mhm.
and The Northman.
Yeah.
Maybe they could shoehorn Bjork in there
Yeah, somewhere.
just because.
Just because, yeah, she was in the Northman.
Yeah. I think she was in The Northman mainly because of the proximity of the story. And it fits because Iceland, they're in Iceland basically when it happens.
Yeah, let's get Bjork in here. She's a weirdo. Right?
Yeah, for this British movie.
So yeah, Robert Eggers looking to direct a Christmas Carol remake. I don't care how many remakes of Christmas Carol there are. If Robert Eggers is attached, I will definitely watch it. But in my heart, it's only the Muppets.
I saw a post that said they should have Defoe as Ebenezer Scrooge and then just all Muppets.
That's just Michael Caine.
He just replaces Michael Caine and it's still all Muppets.
Yeah.
But they don't call it a Muppet Christmas Carol.
Wasn't there a really depressing version of it that came out?
It was one of my streaming picks. It was on Hulu. Yeah, I don't know if it still is, but Guy Pearce plays Scrooge.
It was like a special or a miniseries.
Yeah, it was like I want to say it was a 3 or 4 episode special, and it was about 45 minutes long each.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Yeah.
Very dark.
Okay.
Like they go into how Scrooge's his miserly penny pinching ways caused like the mines to collapse that he owned and like killed women and children that were working in the mines and like whole families were just destroyed.
They put the lore in.
It was all of it. And it went in back to how he was molested as a child and his father sold him into basically sex servitude.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's very dark, but
oh man,
Eggers is gonna have to one up that now.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to show it all.
But Willem Dafoe is eyed for Ebenezer Scrooge, of course. Chris Columbus, director of Home Alone, is set to produce, or attached to produce.
Interesting.
And
all the Harry Potters. He directed a bunch of the Harry Potters.
Jacob Marley is the guy.
That's it.
Jacob Marley.
It's Bob's cousin.
Yeah. So, Willem Dafoe is the only person who's, as far as I know, in the cast.
That's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. What else do we have? We had some Coogler love too, right?
Yeah. Ryan Coogler showing love to Christopher Nolan once again, showing his appreciation because he helped him out a lot in advising him on how to use how to work with IMAX cameras for Sinners. He included Christopher Nolan in the special thanks at the credits. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert.
It would be interesting to see. He should have given advice to the guy from Audience of One.
Oh yeah,
Using large format cameras.
yeah. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, and then also, you told me this. I've heard that Coogler says he's not making a sequel to Sinners.
Ryan Coogler has no interest in making a sequel, and there was a couple of weeks ago where there was like an announcement, like whatever the studio was, I think it was Warner Brothers that did Sinners, saying that a sequel was going ahead without Ryan Coogler.
That's bullshit.
And it would be like already disrespectful because Coogler had no sequel in mind when he made this movie.
Yeah.
Which I love that idea because that movie is great enough to stand completely on its own without any further context. Because like people who want more context to the characters or the world or whatever, prequels or whatever, they're just greedy. There's greedy little bastards who want that information just spoon fed into their heads. They can't use their imaginations.
Well, I can't wait to watch it, and
Yeah.
I know it's still in theaters. I've been so busy. My front yard and my backyard have fallen into disrepair because I've been so busy. Haven't been in the movie theaters more than twice this entire year. I saw Nosferatu and Warfare this year. That's it.
Yeah.
And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, could go see Sinners, but I'm not. I could rent it, but I won't because I have the 4K on the way. I'm waiting to watch that full screen with Brianna, full blast volume.
Whenever it
Pants off.
ships out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
wait.
when that happens. Yeah. Sinners, so far, best movie of the year.
And then we'll talk about yours second one later. And then lastly, Aronofsky is already planning on working again with The Rock. Smashing Machine is not even out yet, and he already wants him back.
Well, the Smash Machine is Safdie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, then what did he work on last with The Rock?
No, he didn't work on anything.
Oh, I thought he was
It's A24 who's getting another Rock movie.
Got it.
Because
Smashing Machine is Safdie.
yeah, it's
A24.
Benny Safdie.
Got it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
We got to see him in Smash Machine
know.
first as a dramatic role.
Yeah.
And now Darren Aronofsky, who is, is Darren Aronofsky, getting maybe he saw a preview of Smashing Machine or something, and is like, you know what, these guys, something going on for him.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's any other dramatic roles that Rock has ever done.
I mean, he's done kind of half drama, half action movies, but still really action, not like serious, emotive, you know.
Yeah.
Bruce is in the chat. He's at the No Kings protest in Georgia.
Currently, you're watching us live from the Capitol.
I don't know if he's still there, but
Oh,
like an
okay.
hour ago, I saw his post and I'm like, yeah, buddy, out there representing.
Yeah. I guess they also have a time jump ahead of us.
Yeah, that's true. He could be already could have pepper sprayed and cleaned his eyes out by then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath for the Rock performance.
Yeah, for the Smashing Machine.
No.
Yeah, I guess we'll.
I'm
have
still
to
gonna
see.
watch it, but I don't really have a whole lot of hope that it's gonna be Rock taking home the Oscar or anything.
You got one hand, you got The Rock in it as a dramatic role, but then the other hand, you got Benny Safdie.
Fuck yeah.
Directing it. So it's like you have two opposite sort of ends of the spectrum of I'm gonna watch it because he's attached, but I'm like scared because he's attached.
I'm also very curious though. I mean, it could be a Truman Show moment, you know?
Yeah, it could be.
So I think that's all of our stories we got.
Yeah. That was a rapid fire. Of
Yeah, it was good.
Several different things.
Look, we're under 30 minutes too.
Look at
how
that.
long the show's supposed to be.
You hear that, Tyler? Just kidding. Let's get on to some stream picks.
Movies.
Wanna watch a movie?
Yes, I do.
Disney Plus, HBO Max.
If I don't get the pick, show's over.
I have grown accustomed to Hulu Plus.
Amazon Prime.
I like Netflix.
You found the pick.
Stream picks. Movies that we watched on our streaming services that we will either recommend or not recommend to you to watch or not watch. Pete,
Oh boy.
you have a lot or a little?
I got a few.
Okay.
But
Or they're really bad.
no, I just spoiled Tyler's review of this Third Man to myself, and
Oh.
I'll wait till the end. He gave it 2 stars. Tyler, what the fuck? Crack it up.
Oh, fuck.
All right. So anyways, I'm going to go through my movies I watched this
He
week.
watched it through a tainted vision, though.
Yeah.
on it
with a fever on his phone.
He's prone,
Yeah,
sick on his phone.
Yeah.
Probably via TikTok somehow.
Yes.
Somebody uploaded the third man to TikTok.
He didn't even turn his phone sideways. He left it in vertical format.
Yeah, exactly. Getting a third of the image.
So I talked about Predator Killer of Killers last week. So that was my last one. And Under the Rainbow. Okay, so after last week's show, I watched a couple of detective movies to fit in with the theme of Detective June.
Yep.
I watched a modern one, which was based off of one of the most famous detectives of all time, Sherlock Holmes from 2009, directed by Guy Ritchie. And this is like, it does have legitimately has a good mystery behind it.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking, is this a fantastical black magic sort of thing? Is it is it a real, is it like set in the real world, actually things that you can explain and you can deduce based off a detective thing, or is it really just magic or something of that nature, supernatural?
Yeah. So
that's interesting. I liked that part of it, and I didn't expect there to be, even though it's a Sherlock Holmes movie. All I heard about it was, oh yeah, it's like a big boisterous Sherlock Holmes is a bare knuckle boxer, and I'm like, I don't know if that's what I think of Sherlock Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
When I watched it with Brianna, as I do most of my movies, and she says that in various versions, I don't know if it's always like this in the book, but in various versions of the shows over the years and the movies over the years, he's been like addicted to heroin or morphine or something like that, and like kind of a ne'er-do-well.
Mm-hmm.
Not the like stuffy British, my dude, what's in, blah, 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 he's not like that. Like,
he has a flaw.
Yeah, he's just a kind of a piece of shit that's also a good detective.
Yeah.
And this, what I've known about him from my childhood is that he's just a very smart guy who's very educated and has an interesting way of logicking and deducing through things.
Mm-hmm.
But none of that other stuff there. So, I mean, maybe this is more true to the reality of it, but it's just kind of a big, loud movie about something that doesn't need to be a big, loud movie. So
it's Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, it's Guy Ritchie. And not all his stuff is super. This is like about as large scale as I've seen from him. Most of his stuff are loud characters, but not loud things. And this one has like buildings are being destroyed, and it's like
an action movie.
Yeah, it's like an Avengers movie, but it's set in England in like the 1920s or something. So like they go to a shipyard, and through this chain of events fight with this guy, this huge ship that they're building, like a transport vessel over, like intercontinental transport vessel, gets destroyed off of the dry dock, off of the slip, and completely almost kills a bunch of people, and it flows out into the ocean and then sinks out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, this is all from two tiny people fighting on the dock, and all this stuff happens.
They caused this.
Yeah, so it's very like way over the top, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I liked it well enough. It was interesting, and RDJ is perfectly charismatic in it. And
how's his British accent?
I honestly couldn't even remember if he had one or not. It almost feels like he's just being himself.
Okay.
Rachel McAdams is in it. She's great. Mark Strong is in it. He's the villain. He's great. Jude Law plays Watson, and he's great too. I mean, you could take this for what it is, but if you take it at face value for what it is, it's pretty good. It's entertaining.
It's very stylized.
Yeah, super stylized and super over the top. This is about it's like a well-made mid-movie, like it's not really saying anything super special or super groundbreaking or impactful.
It's not a historical.
Has no weight
drama.
behind it. I think it's trying to do some of that.
Oh, okay.
But it's I don't know.
It's like watching Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe the third Pirates of the Caribbean, where you start losing some of the charm of it.
I feel like the composer is the same, but I don't know. The music sounds similar to me.
Let's see. Casting.
I don't know. Oh, it was Hans Zimmer who did Pirates, so I don't know if he did.
I'm checking right now.
Sherlock.
It is Hans Zimmer.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I mean, that's a safe bet. So yeah, it's not bad. I mean, you could do a whole lot worse, and it's streaming on Max right now. So it'd be a good kind of afternoon movie or something. Maybe put down with the kids because it is mostly kid appropriate. Okay, so that's Sherlock Holmes 2009, streaming on Max. Next up, detective movie, Miller's Crossing from 1990. This is a Coen Brothers movie. They did Blood Simple, Raising Arizona, then Miller's Crossing. So this is their third feature. And Gabriel Byrne has never been cooler. He's the dad from Hereditary.
He's the devil in End of Days.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And he's fucking cool as shit in this.
Okay.
And he's Irish, I think, in this.
I think he's Irish in real life.
I think he is. And he's really fucking cool.
I think he's related to David Byrne.
They look about the same. Maybe.
I'm going to look it up real quick.
I don't think David Byrne is Irish, though.
No, I don't think so.
I think he's...
David Byrne and Gabriel Byrne, brothers?
Brothers? I don't think he's Irish. I think he's autistic. David Byrne.
They are not related. Damn it.
Okay, so here's the cast. Gabriel Byrne, Marcia Gay Harden, John Turturro, John Polito, J.E. Freeman. Albert Finney plays a really cool part in this. He plays like a kind of a mob heavy, but he's kind of he's more of a businessman than a mobster. But at one point, there's a hit on his life, and he basically turns the beast mode on and is just a fucking absolute badass in this. This is a very, very cool, very cool detective movie. But it's kind of interesting because Gabriel Byrne is, so I'll read the synopsis. 1929, a political boss and his advisor have a parting of the ways when they both fall for the same woman. So it's not really about the detective. He's a kind of a strong man for this, for Albert Finney's character. And he has a relationship with Marcia Gay Harden, but the mob boss, political man, whatever, the politician, he ends up actually hooking up with her as an established girlfriend. Gabriel Byrne and her just hooked up in the past, and she's kind of loosey-goosey all over town, and then all of a sudden Albert Finney is like locking her down as a wife. And there's some overlap there, and her brother is John Turturro, and he's a real piece of shit. So it's more like a mobster movie than a detective movie, but is there a mystery? Yeah, there's a mystery aspect to it, but it's more specifically about he feels like that down on its luck private detective, and I think he actually is a PI in it, but he's not. I don't know. It's kind of like he's solving his own mystery because there's all these people after him instead of him trying to help someone else. And you know how in The Big Lebowski is constantly being told, if you do this for me, I'll pay you. If you do this for me, I'll pay you. So he's like got 5 different people asking him for help. And they all kind of overlap with each other, but they don't 100% fully overlap. It's like the Venn diagram of these 5 different circles and Lebowski's in the middle. That's how it is with Gabriel Byrne in this. And he's really fucking cool. So,
Miller's Crossing.
Yeah.
Where are the Miller's Crossing?
And let's see where this is streaming. I think I had to rent it. Yep, it's a $4 rental. Online anywhere. And I'm almost through my entire Coen Brothers catalog. I'm trying to think. This may be my last one. Let me see here. We got Joel Coen officially listed as the director. I've seen No Country, Fargo, Big Lebowski, Burn After Reading, Llewyn Davis, True Grit, Tragedy of Macbeth, Raising Arizona, Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Oh Brother We're Out There, Hail Caesar, Serious Man, Blood Simple, Barton Fink, Miller's Crossing, The Lady Killer, terrible, Intolerable Cruelty, mid, Hudsucker Proxy, The Man Who Wasn't There, and I think the last one is Paris J'Aime. Never even
That's
heard
like
of it.
that's an anthology movie.
Is it? Sweet. I think this finished off my entire.
Are you counting like solo efforts?
That was Tragedy of Macbeth.
Yeah.
I've seen that too, but I mean I don't think that really counts.
Yeah.
But this is really good. I think this is a great moody piece, and Gabriel Byrne is, like I said, just one of the coolest fucking people alive in this.
When
movie.
was this released?
1990.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's people say that it like reinvents the way that the language of the noir or the language of this like period piece. I don't know about all that. It feels like a Coen Brothers movie set in that era, which maybe at the time was a visionary and groundbreaking and all that stuff. But Blood Simple feels like more of a straight ahead mystery thriller than this. This is more like a Coen Brothers movie wrapped in a mystery thriller or a detective noir. So, anyways, Miller Crossing, high recommend, very good. Another detective movie, starring Nicolas Cage from 1999, 8mm.
Oh yeah.
You seen that one?
Yeah.
This is weird. This movie's wild.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's about a smut film or a snuff film, right?
Snuff film, yeah. It's about
The girl in the tape.
Nicolas Cage is a private detective who's hired to determine if a snuff film that's been found in the belongings of a recently deceased millionaire is real or not.
Mm-hmm.
Is it real? The woman in the tape is killed on camera, and he has to determine if it's real or if it's a fake snuff film, which apparently is a very popular thing, as you find out through the movie.
Yeah.
So it takes a deep dive into the world of adult films.
Underground,
and has a big part for a very young Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah,
he plays the worker at the smut shop, this adult film shop, and he's essentially shepherding Nicolas Cage's character through this world.
Who directed this?
Let's see, I think this was Joel Schumacher.
Oh,
yeah. Which is a little anti-characteristic to the other movies that he's directed.
He did the Batman movie?
He did 2 of them.
2 of the bad ones?
He did Falling Down, Lost Boys.
Oh, Falling Down's great.
The Phantom of the Opera with Gerard Butler. The number 23.
What a weird career.
A Time to Kill, which I love. It's so over the top and great. And then the Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, I think. Yeah. So 8mm you also have to rent. I will just say it's worth it if you don't mind that topic. If you're like immediately turned off by the thought of pornography or like on-screen simulated sex or bondage or any of that stuff. If that's like, no, I don't want that in my house. Then stay.
It opens portals
very far away from this.
That and Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah. So, but if you're just like, oh, that sounds like insane. That sounds wild. I don't condone that, but it's like whatever.
I was being like edged the whole time.
That's right. And there's a character named The Machine who I will never forget in this.
You try to not jerk off while you're watching this movie.
That's a hard
So
mode.
did you like it?
I liked it. Yeah,
okay.
It was good.
It was a good mystery?
Yeah, it was a good mystery. I'd probably give it like a 3.5, maybe.
I remember watching it. I can't remember what the conclusion was.
It was real.
Yeah, okay.
Spoiler. It was real.
Oh, fuck.
You think the whole time it's real, and then you again later on you think it's real, and then you find out it is real, and then you're like, this whole thing sucks.
Yeah.
Everybody in this movie sucks. James Gandolfini's in this. Peter Stormare is in this.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people. But like when I saw Joaquin Phoenix, I'm like, what? This guy with the short shirt.
What?
Exactly. Another detective movie I watched, which I didn't like, The Long Goodbye, 1973.
Long Goodbye.
Starring Elliot Gould, who is...
Elliot Gould.
I do not like him in this.
Elliot Gould.
It's streaming... In Ocean's 11, he's the rich benefactor that they get.
Oh, yeah.
You better know what you're doing.
He like overdoses or fakes the...
No, that's the guy. That's Saul, who's on his team.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy who's by the pool with the big glasses that owns the casino.
Oh, yeah.
You go against Terry Benedict. You got to know what you're doing. He's that guy.
Yeah.
He's great in Ocean's 11. In this, man, I said, fuck, I can't get on board with him. He's so annoying. I do not like him. Streaming on Amazon Prime, Hoopla, Criterion Channel, Pluto TV. This is listed on like the top 25 detective movies of all time. And he's playing Detective Marlowe, who's apparently he's a literary detective from, I think that, who was the guy, the writer who I mentioned last week, who wrote The Maltese Falcon and all that stuff. He was born in like 18.
Oh, I don't remember his name.
I can't remember his name. Robert Sterling or something like that. Anyways.
Robert Altman?
No.
Okay, that's the director of this movie.
Yeah. So I think Marlowe, the character of the Detective Marlowe, he's like, if it's not, it's supposed to be the same character. It's definitely an homage to that character because I know that
John Huston.
No. John Huston directed all those movies.
Yeah.
He directed. He's the guy that wrote.
The writers of Maltese Fog, John Huston and Dashiell Hammett.
I don't know. It was a book that was based off of that. It was all those old detective books back in the day.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, look up the Chinatown.
Oh, Chinatown Writer?
No, because Chinatown Writer, that was a...
Detective books. Raymond Chandler.
That's it, Raymond Chandler. Thank you, Heather. So anyways, I think Raymond Chandler wrote the character of Detective Marlowe, and there was a movie that came out recently with Liam Neeson playing that character of Marlowe. I thought that was a good one.
Isn't it called Marlowe?
It's called Marlowe, yeah. So Elliot Gould plays a character whose name is Philip Marlowe. Don't know if it's supposed to be the same guy or not, but he's like living in L.A., and he's a known, kind of playboy private detective, and he helps one of his friends who just did something bad. He doesn't know what. Skip town and go to Tijuana. Yep. So he gives him a drive down there, whatever, and then the fuzz comes to his house and tries to strong arm him, and he says, "Oh, your friend who you helped skip town?" He's like, "I know what you're talking about." "Oh yeah, because he just killed somebody. You're an accessory to murder now." And he's like, "Oh, fucking that sucks."
Oh well, that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. And then at the same time that's going down, he gets hired to find this rich woman's like husband, who apparently is prone to disappearing randomly when he goes on a bender, and he finds him at a mental institution, and he's like kind of being held against his will, and they're like taking his money because he's a millionaire.
Oh,
so there's some interesting kind of storyline plots, but man, I hate Elliot Gould in this. You really
is it the acting or just the character?
He's so both.
Oh, okay,
both. I think there's times when it works, but for the most part, I just found myself very annoyed.
He's just an annoying character.
Yeah, and the actor too. Just the way he portrays him. I don't know. I think he's supposed to be a cool guy, like sex symbol guy, but I don't buy it.
He's unlikable.
Yeah, he's unlikable.
Isn't he also Elliot Gould? Isn't he American History X? No, that's not him. The stepdad or the boyfriend that
I can't remember who that was in that movie, but I don't think it was him. I'll look it up later. Okay. So you can, I don't know, watch that or don't watch it. But
it was him.
Oh,
he's Murray. Yeah, that's his character's name in American History.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend any time on these movies, but we did a mini Pauly Shore marathon. I revisited Biodome.
Okay.
Dear God, that's bad. I don't remember it being that bad.
It is really bad, but it is a nostalgic nugget.
Yeah, I watched that a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was 10 when I came out, and I think I found it when I was like 12. It was very formative.
Squirrely.
Yeah. It was like just loud noises for a young kid.
Yeah.
And there's some gems in it, but fuck, they're few and far between.
One of my stims is Purple Sticky Punch.
Yep, Purple Sticky Punch.
Yeah.
What's your name? Purple Sticky Punch. And I think Stephen Baldwin is
at his best
quietly underrated in this movie. He's so stupid. But and then I watched In the Army Now, which came 2 years prior, 1994. And that's actually, I still like that movie. I still think it's good. Lori Petty's in it. Andy Dick is maybe at his best.
Andy Dick.
And who else was Dave Allen Greer?
Oh yeah.
So them four, and then Isaiah Morales, who is the villain in the new Mission Impossible movies, is in it too.
Really?
Yeah, he's young in that. So, Heather says The Long Goodbye is not a faithful adaptation. I completely get that. It looks like they took, if it is an adaptation, which apparently it is. They took just the threadbare elements of that. So those are those. But I do have one very cool recommendation that's not a detective movie.
Okay.
Good luck trying to find this movie. It says it's streaming on Prime. I don't know if that's really true because I couldn't find this fucking thing anywhere. I ended up having to find it on like Internet Archives, whatever.
Okay.
It's from 2018. It's Indian. It's called Tumbad. Tumbbad. Tumbad. Yeah. And this is a folklore horror movie.
Where'd you find this movie?
We got recommended on a few like horror lists.
Oh, okay.
Brianna had it on her list. I had it on my list, and she's working her way. She actually has the discipline to when her watch list gets too long, she will just blow through all of them and then get it down to 0.
Oh, really?
It's amazing. When I see like on her letterbox, I'm like, where are all these fucking movies you're watching? Where are these? Because I'm clearing my watch list out.
Huh.
And most of them are like 2 stars, 1.5, 3. This is like a 4-star. really interesting and unique horror movie. I'll read the synopsis. India, 1918. On the outskirts of Tumbad, a cursed village where it always rains, Vinayak, along with his mother and his brother, care for a mysterious old woman who keeps the secrets of an ancestral treasure that Vinayak gets obsessed with later in life. So that, Heather says it is on Prime. Cool, awesome. So it basically starts out the family, it's like two young boys and the mom, and they're taking care of this old woman chained up in their house.
Oh.
And she is like a melted creature.
Oh,
okay. She's been alive for hundreds of years, maybe. Who knows? And you don't know the origin of her. You don't know why, but they're basically tasked with feeding her. And that's all you know.
Humans?
No, just whatever, slop.
Big Macs?
They like squirt it into her mouth. Yeah, Big Macs. And him and his brother are like trying to, they don't know why, but the mom is constantly like, we got to take care of her. We gotta, don't go in there without me. And
she loves lasagna.
And then like flash forward 15 years later, he's an adult and they've left that house because for whatever reason, like the king that she was indentured to or whatever died. So they leave.
She's cursed.
Move away, the mother. And then he comes back 15 years later to basically check on the old woman and like go into figure out what, I don't know what it is. Oh, hey, what's up, Michael? How you doing, buddy? Angry Otters in the chat. Thanks for the well wishes and the happy birthdays, everybody. And he goes back and she's still there, alive.
Oh.
Barely. She's in a very different state than she was 15 years ago, but she's still there.
Talking about mother's guilt.
Yeah. But the mom is no longer with the son. He's just going back as his own adult, and there's this old woman there still. And
I'm imagining a goopy mess.
Like, no, it's more like a zombie. It's almost like what the mom looked like in the basement of Dead Alive.
Oh, okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
But more monstrous.
I'm Jabba the Hutt.
No, not big. Just a normal old woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but just slimy and falling apart.
Like Hellraiser.
Kind of. It's like a zombie.
Okay.
Like a zombie falling apart. Anyways, so the whole point of this is that, and I'm not going to ruin what it is because you learn more about it as it goes on, but it's all a folk tale kind of based around the opening of the movie tells a story about the God that created the universe, and then she created hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of other gods.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was this God I've never heard of before. And it says, you never heard of this God because the point is to forget this God. And when you
don't say it, don't think it.
Yeah, pretty much.
The bye-bye man.
And it's like once you say their name, this God's name, it comes for you or something like that.
Oh.
And it's like, and all the other gods, this other God was stealing from the other gods. So they banished it back into the mother God. And it lives in the womb of the mother God, the original God.
Very Greek-like.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So there's this whole graphic at the beginning that tells all about all that, and then it goes into the story of this family. So
interesting. It's like a cultural horror.
Yeah, folklore.
Kind of reminded me of Vigil. Is that what it's called? The Jewish.
Yes, with the demon, the
guy has to wait all night with the dead
pretty much
woman.
Yeah, it's similar to that, I guess, in that sense where it's like this is a part of this culture's storytelling past.
Yeah,
it's a creature that exists or the demon that exists.
Mm-hmm.
And the man, after he visits the house, he becomes rich.
Oh.
And you don't know how. And the part of that story unfolding is from that. So there's some visuals in this that were like, holy shit, what the fuck? This is really...
Produced well?
Yes, highly produced. Okay. Very well produced. It looks great. Like
Tumbad.
Tumbad.
How do you spell it?
Tumbad. BBAD.
2018 film.
Yeah, and it's on Prime. I would say for like people who are into horror movies, folk horror, or just in general horror, or unique character design, unique creatures, that sort of stuff, watch Tumbad. It's not necessarily the greatest thing you're going to see, and I don't think the graphics always hold up, but it doesn't matter. It's like you're hearing a story that someone's telling about this religion and the monsters that reside within the religion.
As per Variety, re-release of Venice cult horror film Tumbad scares up repeat business at Indian box office as sequel is confirmed.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I can see how there's a sequel to this.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's apparently streaming on Prime, and it's really worth your watch. 2018 Tumbad.
Cool.
That's it.
All right. I only have a few. I only watched bangers this week.
Oh, cool.
Just a little preview. First one was a rewatch. Nacho Libre.
Ah, fun.
Streaming on Apple TV, Paramount Plus via Apple TV. Jack Black playing is a descendant of a Mexican and a Scandinavian, which explains why he's there.
Why he's so white.
Why he's there in Mexico with it looking like Jack Black but speaking Spanish. And he has dreams of becoming a luchador, but it goes against the church and religion because it's all about those wrestlers fight for vanity. They're false idols. But Jack Black is an honorable man and fights for the orphans, as it turns out. And it's a Jared Hatz movie. If you like Napoleon Dynamite, this is even more. It's more obvious of a comedy than Napoleon Dynamite is. Napoleon Dynamite is more like a what is this type of comedy?
Yeah.
But I still find hilarious. But Nacho Libre, 5 out of 5 in my book.
It's one of the greatest G-rated comedy movies too. Like you can watch it with anybody.
Yeah. Filmed in an actual Mexican village with like actual like the people of the village in the extras and cast and everything.
My life is good. Really good. There's so many good one-liners in that too. My dad loves Nacho Libre.
Yeah, really, really good. And then for catch up, I played a little catch up this week. I caught up with Predator: Killer of Killers.
Oh, baby.
From Pete's, as per Pete's recommendation.
Yeah.
This is the second best movie I've seen this year.
Hell yeah.
Straight to streaming on Hulu. This is a really good movie.
Yeah.
This is a really entertaining, really violent. The animation style is really dope. And I like the callback at the very end,
in the case.
very end.
Yeah.
Won't spoil anything. And I like the fact that it opens the door for another one.
Yeah.
Because it's an anthology, but not really an anthology because it all takes place within the same world, and it gives you more context or I guess lore. If you have, I guess I've never read the comic books or anything, but like the Predator's capabilities in like their technology and what they can do, and how they like get access to these different warriors in different time periods. I mean, it goes through the Vikings, as we mentioned, and a samurai, and a modern day like World War One.
I think it's World War One.
Yeah, World War One.
Dogfighter pilot.
Engineer, yeah, dogfighter pilot. And their ingenuity and like their ways of battling and fighting, and all just really, really solid, and all culminates into this sort of very climactic.
Did it remind you of Gady Prime?
Yeah, a little bit. There was a chanting there.
Yeah.
I was like, this is Fade Ross's birthday.
Yeah, exactly. You just need it shot in IR and we're good.
Yeah. It's really, really just entertaining, and solid storytelling. And I love the Predators. I loved like the fight sequences were just really long and really entertaining.
It was cool how they had like a manual switch on that guy's like super puncher arm.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, he just pulls a lever?
Yeah.
It's like a cartoon.
Yeah. There was a small little callback, or maybe it was a reference or homage to like Independence Day at the very, very end when he's on the ship. He's trying to figure it out.
Oh, does he turn the note upside down? I don't know.
It was just like that scene itself, like him trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it felt very reminiscent.
Yeah, but the Predator designs were really cool. I like the different sizes and types of Predators.
Yeah, you're like, this is a big fucker.
This guy's big. This guy's got no dreads.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, super entertaining. Really, and I'm looking forward to whatever comes out of this one. Streaming on Hulu, high recommend.
Heather says she really loved the vignettes. They were great, but was a little disappointed with the final segment. I was feeling that for a while until like the Viking makes the connection. I won't say what it is, but once she changes her perception of some of the characters, I was like, okay, I like the tie-in. It really makes that character something more than what she was.
Yeah. And the language barriers was all really good story elements to include and to increase the tension. So that's streaming on Hulu. Really high recommend. And then the best movie of the week that I watched, detective movie, is streaming on Tubi. Memories of Murder.
Ooh, yeah.
And this was really fucking good. Like based on a true story, a real case in Korea, directed by Bong Joon-ho, and about a serial rapist killer, and these like schmuck cops who you don't like really. They don't seem like they're that great at their job.
They're good at kicking though.
Yeah, one of them is definitely good at kicking. And just good at like we got the guy already. Good job, everybody. And without going into further, they're trying to get people to confess that they did it. They're just like beating people to say what they want them to say.
Yeah,
and like you did it, didn't you? And then they just say yes because they don't want to get beaten anymore. It was a really good mystery, and up until I think 2019, it was a really good mystery because the real life case, they didn't find the guy. And I love the ending. It was it was like bleak and eye opening at the same time, and really solid performances. It felt like Seven a little bit, but not as theatrical as Seven is.
Yeah.
And I like the all of the hints and clues they get about like it's always raining, this song is always playing on the radio, and them trying to like basically do stakeouts on those nights and like call state of emergencies whenever it's happening, and then try to find where this guy's going to strike next. It was a really, really solid and entertaining movie with kind of a bleak ending. Memories of Murder.
It's surprising. Like, I don't know. It feels like one of these movies that the genre switches so many times a little bit. Like, just because some of the scenes are clearly written to be funny.
Yeah, very lighthearted.
Yeah, and but the mystery is pretty. It's pretty. It keeps you on the edge of your seat for sure. And then when you find out it's a true story, you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. And Bong Joon-ho blends that really well in his movies. Blends the comedy in his movies really well. Like Parasite is like it's a really bizarre thriller, but there's elements of comedy in it that you can't help but laugh at it. And the characters in Memories of Murder they feel so incompetent sometimes. When the guy just like runs up and drop kicks somebody, it's like you can't help but laugh.
Well, the other part of it is that in that culture, you're trained with judo. Like that is I think it's judo or taekwondo, one of the two. Brianna was saying that South Korea, it's mandatory military service, and they train you in martial arts. So it's very common for everybody to fight with basic martial arts stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of punching someone, you might get kicked, which doesn't really happen in America.
Yeah, I can imagine just running up and just kicking somebody down.
All right, let's go. Me and you are fighting. First move is a kick to the head.
Yeah. And like they would just like kick people out of their chair as they were just sitting there, and then just like, yeah.
I saw this at the same time that I saw Mother from 2009, also Bong Joon-ho. So I get the two of them kind of blended together and mixed together, but they're both really phenomenal movies.
Yeah, I don't remember much of Mother. She has like Alzheimer's, or I could have sworn there's something like that.
Her son is special needs.
Yeah.
And I think I want to say there's something like in that regard too, but she's very protective of him.
But yeah, Memories of Murder, if you haven't seen it, really solid. Streaming on Tubi. So the ads definitely ruined some of the tension in that movie, but yeah, really, really good for early Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho, I think he's pretty good.
He's got a career ahead of him, I think. But yeah, that's all I have.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I guess let's
Tyler?
wrap. Yeah, Tyler, you got anything?
No.
Okay, cool. Well,
I'm
very good.
gay.
Oh, okay.
Well,
hey,
it's Pride Month.
It's Pride Month.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't made the "and on Pride Month" joke this whole month.
So far.
We're
yeah.
halfway through it. I haven't made it once yet.
Well.
That's okay. Anyways, do you got anything else, Joseph?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So thank you to our cool ass yard duties over on Patreon. That is Javier, Heather, who's in the chat, Michael, who's in the chat, and Chris, who's going to be over at the house later today. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC. Oops, wait, I'm going into the end spiel. Yeah, thank you to our cool ass yard duties. If you want to support us on the Patreon, you can do so at patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass, or you can just watch the YouTube channel, share with a friend. That would help out a lot. Until next time. Thank you for joining us on this twosome edition, Joseph and I, as we gab and chatter, talk about movies and what we watched this week. Follow us later on in the week if you're on the stream, or if you're not on the stream, or later on today if you're in the chat, as we review The Third Man from 1949. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Middle Class Film Class, and on Twitter at Podcast MCFC.
That's right. Hope you're all safe out there on No King's Day, and we will see you soon if you're in the chat. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call. Bueller.
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller.
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimble to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class Movie Review Edition. I'm your host for today, Joseph.
I'm Peter.
And no Tyler over there today. But this week, for our second week of Detective June,
I didn't even play the detective intro music.
Oh,
We had the detective intro music, and I botched it the whole time.
should we play right now?
I gotta find where it's at.
Oh, okay.
We're clearly professional here.
Yes.
Where the hell is that? Joseph voice, science. Oh, here it is.
Oh, wait.
Soft reset.
Okay. Welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class. Movie Review Edition, Detective June. I'm your host for today, Joseph.
I'm Peter.
And once again, no Tyler over there. And this week, for the second week of Detective June, we are reviewing my movie from the, not the wheel, from the movie, The Third Man.
Heard of Harry Lime?
Oh, I get it.
Best friend I ever had. He's kaput.
Go to settings. System settings.
Oh, system settings.
Yeah. It's right there.
Where?
Bottom left. All the way to the left.
Oh.
Check your audio.
Audio. Where are you? I'm blind. Audio. With
Sound.
Ah.
Notification of the sound. There we go.
Up. It's there. It's picking it up. Okay.
That's weird. How about output? Does it?
In settings?
Yeah, that's input and output, right?
Output.
Okay, it's still there.
Yeah. It's picking it up here.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'll quit Audacity once again.
Because usually Audacity will mirror the system settings.
Okay, here we go.
There you go.
We're back. All right. Chord.
Okay, that's...
Up. Yep. Okay.
Now check OBS.
Yep. You're right here.
Hey, there we go. That's not gonna play anything. I can check on them. I can check. Hey, there it goes.
Okay. Begin. We're there.
Okay. You
Should
ready?
we start over?
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
I don't have time for this middle class bullshit, you 1% sons of bitches.
Should I go back to the... When's the cue? When do I...
Whenever you want.
Oh, okay. Hello and welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class Detective June Edition. I'm your host for today, Joseph.
And I'm Peter.
And no Tyler, once again, over there. But this week, for Detective June, we are reviewing my movie, The Third Man. There we go.
Heard of Harry Lime? Best friend I ever had.
Ist kaputt.
Hey, SpongeBob.
Go home, Martin. You don't know what you're mixing in. As soon as I get to the bottom of this, I'll get the neck lane.
You're wrong about Harry. You're wrong about everything.
Come out, whoever you are.
You never should have gone to the police, you know.
The Third Man.
Beautiful.
Beautiful transition right
Yeah,
there.
that's great.
The Third Man, directed by Carol Reed, written by Graham Greene, Orson Welles, and Alexander Korda, starring Orson Welles, Joseph Cotton, Alida Valley, Trevor Howard, Paul Horbiger, Ernst Deutsch, and a bunch of other people who are probably all dead now.
Probably.
I don't know. The only surviving cast member maybe is that one kid with the ball.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. But everybody else on the crew and there is probably all...
That child later on went on to do Augustus Gloop.
Oh, yeah, really?
35 years later.
Yeah. And this is The Third Man, released in 1949. This is an old-ass movie. And it is a detective movie, although it does not follow a detective per se. It is follows a writer named Holly Martins, a pulp novelist who writes westerns.
Shitty westerns.
Yeah, really not great westerns. Travels to shadowy post-war Vienna. It's funny because this was filmed in like very post-war.
It was the war ended 45. This came out in 49, so it had been shot in 48.
Yeah. Only to find himself investigating the mysterious death of an old friend named Harry Lime, who was killed in a car accident or something like that. And
You're led to believe it's a car accident.
Yeah. Only to discover later that some nefarious things may be going on with his friend Harry Lime. And maybe there was a third person.
Yeah.
Maybe they were a man involved.
The third man was in the accounts of what happened of the death.
Yes.
It was Harry Lime was hit by a car, and then his body was carried by two men out somewhere else. Well, one person,
It was like a witness.
witnessed it and said, no, there was a third man.
Yes.
And they were trying to figure out who that is.
There might have been a third man.
To determine if it was a murder or if there was a
murder.
or it was honestly just a mistake.
This is rated at number 213 on the IMDb Top 250. This is all of both of our first time watches
And Tyler's.
And Tyler's. He did watch it on his phone in bed, prone, hopefully getting better with maybe a low grade fever, perhaps. All of our first time watches. And I knew nothing about this movie other than that Orson Welles was in it. I didn't realize he had such a small role compared to everybody else.
I saw he was like third or fourth build on the movie, but in the IMDb, he's first build.
Yeah, he's number one, and he had a hand in writing it. This is a detective movie. There is a mystery, a murder, or not murder involved. Somebody did die. It's a movie known for its cinematography, its use of shadows. It's a noir film. Here we are going to talk about it. So, Pete, what did you think about The Third Man?
Before I do that, we could probably just stay on the two, I guess. I think we should read Tyler's review.
Oh, you wanted to do Tyler's review?
I want him to lead the set the stage.
Okay.
So
set the vibes.
So Tyler wrote this review this morning, and keep in mind the state of the man, our third man. He's fighting a cold, fever-ridden, syphilis-ridden. One could presume.
Gonorrhea.
Yeah.
Hep C.
Yeah. He passed his hepatitis test. 2 B's and a C. But he's not a well man, and he watched this from bed from the comfort of his own iPhone, with that one sheet he's got on there, one blanket. Here's what he wrote: 2 stars
out of 5.
Out of 5. This is out of 5, not out of 2.
Yeah.
This is a movie with great acting, great cinematography, and great atmosphere. However, the whimsical music that plays throughout this bleak story is very jarring and distracting. The movie feels a bit more fluff than substance. When it does get into the substance, it is very cool. I feel like the long, drawn-out scenes are meant to be effective, but ultimately feels like I want it to end like, get on with it already. The story ain't that deep. The criminal aspect of Lime really was interesting and messed up, and his uncaring of the crimes was shocking. Overall, the movie wasn't impressive as a whole, but there was compelling parts in the film. 2 stars. End of report. Yeah, so that's Tyler's take on it. And my take on it is that for a movie made in 1949, this feels like a triumphant visual feast when I was watching it.
Yeah.
Every shot looked like I was watching like something that would be parodied later in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And perhaps it was.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's like I watched a number of kind of breaking apart sort of videos about and like articles about how what makes The Third Man so fascinating and so good and so revered. And I think part of it is, the time that it came out and people really weren't pushing. I mean, there were some auteurs who were pushing the boundaries, of filmmaking in that time, and the German Impressionist movement, the 20s and stuff was Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and like, what was the other one? M. I think M. It might have been before that. Mm-hmm. But either way, there was definitely people taking risks in the German film movement back then. But this is a British movie set in Austria, post-war, used the real post-war, essentially post-apocalyptic hellscape that Austria was back then, where there's multiple different governments vying for their piece of the pie there. There's this international area in the center of the city, which everybody supposedly was a safe zone for, and no one spoke the same language. And it was just kind of chaotic. And then on top of it, you have a series of people trying to make money off of the chaos. And that's our Harry Lime. it was interesting.
Harry Lime.
It was interesting to see the movie through the eyes of his friend, who was Holly Martins.
Yep.
Played by Joseph Cotton. And Mr. Martins comes to Austria just like, hey, I'm here to see my friend. And he gets there and he's like, oh, hey, by the way, your friend's dead.
Okay. He's dead.
He's dead. Okay.
He
move on.
died.
And it was interesting to see it through his eyes because you're being told all this stuff about Harry Lime, about how he's a racketeer and he's a piece of shit and what he did in his schemes led to the deaths of children. Like the most despicable type of person.
Yeah.
You know, yes, okay, it's bad if you cause the deaths of human beings in any capacity, but sick children? That seems even worse, you know? It's like when somebody is pretending to have a up and up legitimate charity for, you know, children with cancer, and it turns out that they, you know, siphoned money off of it to put into their pockets. Oh, I forgot Donald Trump got sued for that and lost. So very similar in that regard, where it's like, this guy is a piece of shit, but his friend doesn't believe it. Holly Martins doesn't believe it whatsoever. And I think that's interesting because you're seeing that character come to the realization that his childhood friend really is a piece of shit and he's abandoned all of his humanity. So I really liked that part of it.
Yeah.
I also really liked that the entire cityscape looked like this like labyrinth type maze that he was stuck in. And every time he's chasing someone through the city or even wandering through the city or being followed through the city, it's almost like it looks like a horror movie. Like the angles, it's like low angles, a lot of Dutch angles.
Yeah.
And one thing I thought was really interesting that I didn't pick up myself, I saw this from a interpretive sort of video essay about it, is that throughout the entire movie, they use really sharply drawn geometric patterns throughout. And they use this like, what's the phrase? It's like an infinite point in the distance, the perspective, and that final point in perspective where it's like all the roads are leading to this tunnel at the very end of the shot. You know, it's a 3D obviously shot where the camera's here and the character's running away from the camera towards this point in the distance.
I mean, leading lines is like one aspect of it.
I think they call it vanishing point. Vanishing point, where it's like if at some point you can essentially get out of the frame and you're so small in the frame that you vanish.
Yeah.
That vanishing point for him as he's walking through the city is always obscured by a building. Like the point where in order to get to that vanishing point, you'd have to go around the building and it's lost to him. He can never see it. And every situation where he finds himself in this hairy world, which doesn't make any sense to him, they have all these crazy Dutch angles and it like just shows how confusing the world is to him and how things don't make sense to him. And he's learning new things about his friend and life along the way.
Yeah.
The first time you see Harry, then they have their actual interaction. They actually speak is at a Ferris wheel and a merry-go-round. It's only two cylindrical circular pieces in the entire story. And the idea is that Harry he doesn't conform to that. He lives outside of the confusing perspective of these harsh edges, and he just is. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I never thought about it. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
And then also this interesting perspective of this vanishing point. Everybody's running towards it or away from it or whatever. It's all low angles, all kind of crazy in your face shots, like Terry Gilliam-esque in that way, but they're static.
Yeah.
When you see Harry Lime looking down on the city, he's very high, and it's the first time you've seen a high perspective of any character in the entire movie because he's looking down on the rest of the world, like he's better than everybody else. Also interesting how they do that in the Ferris wheel. They're high up in the Ferris wheel, and he goes up and he's looking down, literally looking at the specks of people on the ground. So all these things are these really interesting large-scale concepts that lead to an interesting set of characters. I kind of agree with Tyler in the sense that I didn't really find the story super, super interesting if you were to write it down on paper, but the characters were interesting enough and their development was interesting enough that once we were finally introduced to Orson Welles as Harry Lime, you're like, oh, I kind of expected that he was alive.
Yeah.
And then because the whole time I'm thinking, well, Orson Welles is in this. He's got to be the guy.
It's got to be somebody.
It's not. I don't think it's not the type of movie I think that would have a flashback. So once it's revealed to him, I saw that his reveal and his little smirk standing in the shadows.
That damn smile.
I was like, that damn smile. That motherfucker. He did it.
Yeah.
And he's so charming. And then when you hear him basically confessed to all the terrible things that he's been accused of throughout other characters throughout the movie, you're like, wow, he's a fucking sociopath.
Yeah.
What if I told you I pay you $20,000 for every speck that you just stopped from moving? All those specks down there are people. If one of them stopped moving, would it change your life at all? What if I paid you $20,000 per? Tax-free, mind you, tax-free. And you're like, wow, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he's still talking about the death of the children. And his friend is telling him, yeah, but the stuff you did killed children. And what do they want to be on this earth for? What do they have to live for? And you're like, what the fuck? It's a weird juxtapose because he is one of the more charismatic characters.
This is my friend?
Yeah. So he immediately realizing that his friend's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
And you as the viewer, you're like, man, I like Orson Welles. He's so charming. Look at that smile. He's so cool. And he talks like keeps calling his friend old man. Like, it's so cool. And it's, I don't know. He's very magnetic. Like, you want to like him. Mm-hmm. And then everything that comes out of his mouth is like a deranged sociopath.
Yeah.
So all those things together made for a very complex and interesting movie that I really enjoyed. I didn't know what to think of it from the get-go, so I think I'm going to revisit it and watch it again. But it would be disingenuous for me to say that I fully understood all those things and all those interesting kind of whatevers. They all came from people who are way smarter than me and are interpreting this, because sometimes I'll watch a classic movie that people think are the best, and I'll watch it and I go, that's really good. I don't know if I would consider it one of the greats. And then you think about it historically, and you think about it in the context of where our world was in time period and what the audiences were kind of absorbing in those times.
Yeah.
And that really makes it something more. So I loved it a lot. After more research, I loved it even more. And I'm excited to watch it for a second time to give a different perspective to myself, knowing what that character is and who he is, and that Holly Martins is being taken for a ride the entire time. This bubbling dope. So anyways, really, really good choice, Joseph.
Cool. Yeah, so my first time watching it as well, I think it is like a through line through all three of us, where I also didn't think the story, like, by itself was that interesting or compelling. Like, the mystery was that like, it was no Chinatown.
No.
In terms of the story.
Yeah.
All of the technical aspects are like really dynamite. Cinematography, like, obviously that's like one of the first things. I mean, coming out of the silent film era, they're still like in the very early stages of that, of coming from just pretty much purely visuals.
Yeah.
So a lot of that can be attributed to, like, well, we have to tell the story through all visuals. Still, and I mean, obviously it still happens, but like even more so then, because you can reveal a lot about character motivations and what it means for the rest of the story in terms of how you frame or compose an image or compose a scene and block it and everything, and set where you set your lights. And this is a noir, so deep shadows and at the time it would be interesting to time travel back then to like see how they like decided to do that, or it was like a conscious choice, like, we're making a noir, so like the shadows have to be deep and very stark.
They're also huge. The perspective of the shadows, they cast onto the sides of buildings.
Very long shadows.
I love that.
It'd be interesting to see what the mindset was at the time. If they were just like, we're making a movie because this is like, it's similar to this other movie. Like, you know, when did it all start? You know, that whole genre, I guess. But this is a really early movie, I guess, in terms of like noir. And even coming from the silent film era, the music of this movie, I will agree with Tyler. It was like jarring to hear that sort of like plucky, sort of Spanish sounding kind of
on the zither. They credited the zither player
to like what is going on. But at the time when I was watching it and I was thinking about it in context of the audience of the time, and it reminded me of, you know, that circus theme song. The name of that, the title of that song is called "Entry of the Gladiators," and it's like it plays at the circus. Like you associate it with the circus, but when that song was composed, it wasn't like, I don't think it was.
It was actually designed to. There's really weird trivia about that song. It was designed to be played at a much slower tempo.
Yeah.
When it first was written, and the author of it, the composer of that song, sold the rights to it to someone else, and they cranked the speed up on it.
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
Yeah.
It's not the circus song. It's the gladiator song.
Yeah. So exactly. So it's like at the time it sounds silly, right? And you associate, now we associate it with clowns and everything.
Freaking organ playing it.
So when I hear the music in this movie, like, well, at the time the audience didn't have, like, nowadays it sounds silly compared with like this like very dramatic imagery and story that we're being told. But at the time it could have been like, oh no, this is a very tense music.
Yeah.
You know, their everything that they had access to at the time did not have I mean, they were scared of trains in the movie. So so like we knew what their standards were at the time. But as a modern viewer, it was like it was hard to like really get into the story with that music playing in the background.
That's interesting. I didn't get that. I mean, I'll talk about it
later. It was good music, but it just felt weird paired with this genre of film. But I attribute that to it being such like a movie from the 40s and being so close to the silent era, where the music playing in a silent movie is like honky tonk. It's kind of silly sounding. But yeah, I was like confused on how I felt about the movie, because I didn't find the story that interesting, but everything else about it was really good. And there are some really great shots in this movie, and like it is responsible for like being like probably responsible for a lot of cinematographers' careers nowadays.
100%.
You know, being that influential.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't find the
actual story compelling.
The behind the scenes of it sound more interesting, and like the reasons for the motivations of the characters and why they framed it certain ways seems more interesting than like the story or the movie itself. But yeah, and I didn't particularly, not that you're supposed to like the characters that much. But yeah, the story itself, once it gets going, I feel like it wasn't doing enough for me personally. But it is like, I feel like it's a must watch.
Yeah,
for sure.
About wrap it up.
Yeah.
Oh. So I wanted the zither song composition mixed with the tone of the movie. It made me feel, I think, a little bit more invested in the movie, and also I feel like it set the tone for the character of Holly Martins. And because he was kind of an idiot, you know, he's through his stupidity and saying the wrong thing to the wrong people, he got people killed in the movie.
Yeah.
That groundskeeper was murdered because of basically what he said.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the groundskeeper says there's actually a third guy there, and it's like, okay, well, next time you see him, he's fucking dead. But I think that it's hard to pin that, like you said, like the perception of that type of music now is what it is. Back then, was it considered goofy?
Yeah, were people laughing?
Were they? Yeah, and it's like a lot of the reviews I've seen about this specifically comment on how fantastic the score. I love the zither music. It does have a tone that doesn't fit with other noirs. It doesn't fit with other detective movies. They're all moody and slow paced and dreary. And
it's not like that slow, like
saxophone
club jazz.
Yeah, it's not that. But it's almost just like there's stuff happening, there's stuff moving, you know, because it is fast paced and it is kind of bright and whimsical in a way. To me, it felt like it was almost like a spiritual. This whole movie was like a spirit with that zither, a spiritual precursor to After Hours, a Martin Scorsese movie. Because if you take Holly Morris and put him as the main character of After Hours, I could see that being exactly the same. He's running around the city, a little kind of getting the shit kicked out of him and kind of the butt of the joke in a lot of situations. It's definitely not a one for one, but in a way feels like that. And that movie's bonkers in a way that you're like, Scorsese's making a comedy? It's not really a comedy, but it's kind of wild and whimsical and fantastical. And there were parts of this movie that feel that way. But speaking of how early moviegoers were afraid of the train driving at the camera, I think that had more to do with the concept of how storytelling, visual storytelling back then was a very two-dimensional sort of thing. Like you go from paintings and drawings of early days that are like, you look like Egyptian hieroglyph sort of paintings, and or those medieval paintings where it's like everybody's on the same plane, they're all looking together. It's like almost like you would take construction paper and cut it out and move them against each other. It's like very two-dimensional. When you get into like Michelangelo and a lot of, Renaissance paintings, they start showing that like deep perspective, and you can see the landscape behind the figures at like the Last Supper or whatever. But in movies, even in like the early 20s and 1800s or the 2010s or 1910s, a lot of it was basically like watching a play on film, and plays, for the most part, don't use that depth too much. It's that Z-axis or whatever. It's just kind of the left to the right storytelling and whatever. Yeah. So when you get the camera angle of a train driving at the camera, I could see how people would kind of flip the fuck out at that. Yeah. I think the strength of The Third Man is that almost all of the movie is shot like that. At least in any of like
with a lot of depth.
A lot of depth. And just how I was talking about how you see this vanishing point, everybody's running towards it off into the distance. At the very end, once you get to the end of the movie, it goes the opposite way. Harry Lime is running from the police. He's down in the sewers. All these giant scapes and very large, strong angles turn into these tight quarters in the sewer. And now instead of everybody running at this vanishing point in the distance, they're running from the end of the tunnel towards the camera, like he's being closed in on, which is interesting. Yeah, very interesting. And I have to imagine it's a conscious decision.
Yeah, I'd be curious to go back and see if if they had behind the scenes featurettes at the time, I would love to see like what the decision making was like.
There's got to be
and like what
interviews,
what the intention was like for some of these compositions. Like, was it a conscious thing? Was it like a subconscious thing? Like, this means this, and we're shooting this way because it means this. Like, we're shooting a Dutch angle because the world is uneasy because it's post-war and we're still recovering, and also the uneasiness of the situation that
the character's interpretation of it
that they're in right now.
Robert Krasker is the cinematographer, and he won the Oscar for this best cinematography. Yeah, only award this won at the Oscars.
Yeah, I know that the musician Anton Karas was found by Sir Carol Reed. He's knighted.
Cool.
The director. I know we got a director, a man director named Carol Reed, and the main character's name is Holly Martins.
Come on.
Anton Karas was discovered while scouring Vienna bars and nightclubs, and
really,
the director actually heard him playing at a production party and insisted
that's cool.
The Austrian zither player come to Reed's hotel room and record songs to use for the contract. And then later in production, he realized that he wanted to use his music for the whole film.
Why don't you come to my hotel room and record some of that zither?
Why don't you bring your zither with you? Yeah.
1951, that's the best cinematography for this movie, was actually a subcategory, best cinematography black and white. They had a best cinematography color that year, too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't know that.
And then when things went primarily color, they got rid of it.
Yeah. Like, we don't want to encourage that shit anymore.
We're done with that. That's old news.
Weird. He also had a nomination. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, he was nominated in 1964, 13 years later, for Best British Cinematography Color for a movie called The Running Man.
The Running Man.
The Running Man and The Third Man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How many types of mans are you gonna make a movie about? The Third Man, The Running Man. Who's the third man of our group?
Is it Tyler? It has to be Tyler.
He's not, because he's not here.
Yeah, because he's here only half the time.
Who's the second man?
I don't know. I think you and I are both tied for first and second.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Technically, Tyler would be the first man because he came up with the concept for the show.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little trivia no one needs to know about. Jimmy Stewart was initially for the role of Holly Martin's.
Oh, really?
Apparently, I don't know if James Stewart the same as Jimmy Stewart.
That's Jimmy Stewart. Yeah.
Okay.
Good to see my friend.
Where is he?
Harry Lime. Oh, wait, tell me he's dead?
Harry, you tell me he's a third man?
Best man I ever knew.
Orson Welles was only shooting for a week on this movie.
Yeah, that's cool.
And he did not want to go in the sewer. He was body doubles.
Really?
In the sewer. And he did a lot of his shots in London.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because he thought he was going to get a disease from shooting in the sewer.
That's funny.
He was scared.
No, I won't go in there, I tell you.
Orson Welles, not
okay. Jimmy Stewart didn't want to go in the sewer either, I assume.
Well, he's not even in the movie.
That's funny.
Also, Cary Grant was also considered for the part of Harry Lime.
I don't have a Cary Grant impression.
What does Cary Grant sound like?
Cary Grant? I don't have one.
I don't even know what he looks like.
Hunky. That's what he looks like. Yeah.
He's a hunk?
He's a hunk.
A beefcake.
Yeah, he's a lean cake.
Oh, okay. This is Graham Greene's only original screenplay. I guess.
That's interesting. He wrote a novella of this too. Like the screenplay was so dense that he basically turned it into a novel.
Oh.
And then eventually they adapted it into the movie.
Yeah. I think I read something also that there was something about, following Harry Lime's character. There was I think it was a novel, or maybe it was a spin-off movie. I don't know. I
think it was the original novel. I think this is just part of that character in that story.
Yeah. Yeah, Orson Welles refused to film in Vienna sewers.
Mm-hmm.
The resulting footage is said to be about 85% Vienna and 15% London. So
I really like that scene after he gets off that Ferris wheel talk. Great scene, by the way. When they get off and he's walking away, he's talking about, they say, what is that? Weak men make chaos or something like that, and strong men make weak children or something like that.
It was like caveman talk.
What's that saying? How's that go? Let's see. Weak men make hard times.
Weak men make hard time.
Let's see how it goes. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and then weak men again create hard times.
Oh, okay.
And in a version of that, he's basically saying,
Harry, what the hell are you talking about?
Harry, I tell you, don't make any goddamn sense. He says, during the war we had, pillaging and destruction and all this kind of stuff, and historically through all these trying times, but you're given Michelangelo and you're given these fantastic art and these inventions and things, and he says, but you know what happened in Switzerland? They had 500 years of peacetime, and what they got? The cuckoo clock.
The cuckoo clock.
Yeah, and it's a great line because he's basically saying, you're pissed off because I'm doing these terrible things, but terrible times and hard times are what makes people good. Living through the strife is what makes the society better. And he's trying to justify his own shittiness.
Oh my God.
Doesn't care about the girl he loves. He's like, they're going to take her away. He's like, okay, whatever. What about me? And he's like, yeah, we're good friends or whatever, but I could throw you off this Ferris wheel right now. You're not going to look for a bullet wound in your head if you fall from this height.
Yeah.
It's such a weird dichotomy. Or it's a weird relationship, I should say.
There was another. I think it was on Reddit, and I was talking about this movie, because I was talking about the ending of it and what it meant, who was the third, who was in the grave and before.
Oh yeah.
And I was reading about what's her name, the woman.
It's weird. Some of the press stuff for this,
Anna.
Yeah, some of the press stuff. The actress only goes by one name.
Interesting. Yeah, so the character who plays Anna, there was a theory that she knew the whole time that he was alive still.
Oh.
And because in the beginning she doesn't bury him, she doesn't throw the dirt on the grave.
Oh,
and at the
you're
end,
right.
She does.
You're right.
It could imply that it kind of sort of retroactively paints her character and in the story that she knew the whole time.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
There's also a parallel from that funeral scene when Holly is getting the ride back to the town with the police captain or whatever it is, the colonel. They're driving the car and they both look back and she's walking down that road. That's the same road that she's walking down at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
That like 2.5 minute uncut scene.
Yeah.
It's like the Lawrence Arabia type scene.
I know. The opening scene in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my gosh. But she doesn't look at them in the car whatsoever. She doesn't even glance up and make eye contact, but they're both kind of enthralled by her.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he's waiting for her. He's like, hey, baby, let's go. Let's hop on my cart.
Yeah, there's like this weird, like he's like into her.
Oh, he's super into her.
But she's not into him really, even though like...
She goes back and forth throughout the movie.
Yeah, and he's about to go back... He's going to the airport.
Yeah.
To like fly back.
This is the fourth time he's got a ticket at the airport.
I know. And like he's in the car with the other actual cop, I think, the sheriff.
Oh, at the beginning of the movie?
No, the end. Before he gets out and like waits by the car.
Okay, yeah.
And then he's like, well, I can't just not say goodbye, basically. So he like gets out of the car and then goes and waits for her as she walks by, and then she just
right by him.
Walks past him. And like,
doesn't even make eye contact.
Nothing. And then I wasn't sure what I was supposed to surmise from that. Like,
she never had any love for him. She never had any reverence whatsoever, and it was always about
Harry's dead.
It's always about Harry Lime.
Yeah, yeah.
He is very insensitive though, because she's clearly still mourning her lost love. It's only been like a week.
I know, and he's like making moves.
He's like, "Hey, babe, I got you these flowers. You want to hang out? You're drunk. I'm a little drunk,
just a little bit."
Yeah. I also like that he's a shitty pulp writer, like westerns and stuff, because
it's always a point of people always bring it up.
Yeah, well,
to him.
Graham Greene. Apparently, when he first wrote the thing, Holly was supposed to be British, and so he was going to be more likable. And both the director and the writer both kind of had an anti-American bias. They both kind of thought Americans were stupid. So when they changed the character for the production to be American, they're like, "Oh baby, we're gonna make this guy a fucking loser." The stuff he writes ain't like what I write. I write good stuff, like The Third Man. He writes westerns,
stupid westerns.
Yeah, Arkansas Express or whatever they call that movie. The book they kept bringing up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have much else to really say about it. There's a lot of really great shots in this movie. Like if you were just to watch the modern trailer, like they include a lot of it, and you could probably take almost anything out of this movie and like make it a painting or make it a framed picture.
I would love to see a supercut of all those really wide angled, kind of like long perspective shots with the big shadows. Like most of the chase scenes.
Mm-hmm.
You could take that, make a montage of it, and make it a music video.
Yeah, making
that would be sick.
Third Man edit.
Yeah, hey, we should do it.
There was so like speaking of the Dutch angles, the William Wyler, who is a friend of Carol Reed. Let me just look up who William Wyler is. He was on IMDb.
Yeah, he's another famous director.
He is
Billy Wilder and William Wyler.
Director, producer, actor who directed Roman Holiday, Ben-Hur. So pretty big movies.
Yeah.
A friend of Carol Reed sent him a spirit level.
Spirit level?
A level for when you're framing, like when you're hanging a picture. Said, Carol, next time you make a picture, just put it on top of the camera.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah. The whole time it was crooked.
Yeah. What do you mean the camera's crooked? Sorry, it's Jimmy Stewart again.
Can you imagine Jimmy Stewart, like if he was on set and he's like filming, he's like getting ready to shoot a scene and he sees the camera, he's like, your tripod's crooked.
Yeah. You put a book under the other side of that thing.
You're gonna shoot up in my nostrils?
What if I get you the moon, huh?
Just
remember that?
Remember that?
That was a good scene.
Was that before or after this? I don't even know.
I think before.
Okay.
I think It's a Wonderful Life. Let's see. It's a wonderful 46, yeah.
Yeah, 3 years before.
3 years prior. I could have sworn this was a 50s movie, and then when I put it on, I'm like, 1940s. Man, what the world was like in 80 years ago.
What's the oldest movie you've watched, do you think? Or do you know?
I've seen Trip to the Moon.
Yeah. It's a 15-minute movie.
Yeah, let's see if that is Trip to the Moon.
George the Méliès?
Nosferatu. That's what the Trip to the Moon's 1902, but it's a short. Nosferatu, it's 27, I think.
Oh, okay.
Let me see here.
Yeah, I guess I've seen both of those as well.
2020 or 19. Sorry, 1920. Yeah, it's 22. No, 22. Nosferatu, a Symphony of Horror. Is that the same thing?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay. A Symphony of Horror.
I didn't know that was the subtitle. 1922 horror fantasy, hour and 21.
Oh, okay.
Seems long.
It's a bit long.
It's a bit long for what's going on.
1922. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen any like a feature length movie older than that. Let me check my Letterboxd. I know that's not in the entire history.
When did they start making feature length movies?
I think it was in the early 1900s, like the pre-tens.
Okay.
Let's see here. Okay.
The pre-tens.
Pre-tens. I don't know what the fuck you call it. The aughts. Is the aughts the zeros?
The turn of the century. I don't know.
I'm at 1919 films logged on Letterboxd. I should go back and like log all the movies I've seen that before I started getting on Letterboxd.
Oh yeah.
Because it's weird. It's the first time logging something, but it's a rewatch, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here. Stats, 1900 films, sort by
year.
When added, when rated, release date, earliest first. Trip to the Moon's the earliest one.
Oh, okay. That's probably mine too.
The Butcher Boy, 1970.
Butcher Boy.
It's a short. A lot. I got a Buster Keaton. Nosferatu is my earliest one, 1922, and then after that, 1925, The Mystic. It's Todd Browning, and then A Page of Madness, which I saw at the Red Museum.
Page of Madness.
Yeah, it's a Japanese movie.
I saw Haxan, but that's probably around.
I think that's 29.
Nosferatu.
Yeah, let me see what there it is. Haxan.
This is Dynamite Podcasting.
Oh hell yeah! Anybody who's watching this is loving this right now. Oh, I was right. 22. Haxan.
Sweet.
All right. Anything else? Do you want to grade this thing?
Yeah, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
I'm good.
I don't have anything. Do you have anything else?
I got nothing.
Okay, cool.
Tyler, what do you grade this movie? Hold on,
fuck. So
D.
It is definitely a mid movie.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Tyler thinks it is mid. He gave it 2 out of 5. That's a D plus.
Yeah.
D plus, C minus, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's lower than a C for sure.
I'm gonna go A, not an A plus. Maybe if I rewatch it again, but I think A.
Okay.
It's really pretty fantastic. I'll go A minus before I kind of did some research on it after the fact.
I'm gonna do B plus.
B plus, all right.
Yeah, Third Man, B plus. I mean, it's just like it just 1949. I don't know. I don't know.
You famously don't like old movies, though.
I mean, like old movie. This is an old movie.
This is this is an oldie.
Like Chinatown, great. That's an old movie. This is an old movie.
70s movies. There's some dynamite 70s movies. There's also some bullshit in the 70s.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit in
every
decade. Yeah, just in general.
But in the 40s, I'd imagine a lot of shit.
Yeah, they're still figuring it out.
Let's see. I'm gonna look up the best movies of the 40s. Best movies
of the 40s.
Yeah, let's see. Best movies of the 1940s. Let's see what Grok says. First one, Third Man. It's a Wonderful Life. Casablanca. Citizen Kane.
Okay.
Double Indemnity. Rope. Rope was the 1940s?
I guess so.
Let's see, hold on. 1948. Wow, I had no idea.
That's a Hitchcock?
Yeah. Treasure of the Sierra Madre. The Bicycle Thief.
Miracle of the Mojave.
Late Spring. The Lady from Shanghai. The Red Shoes. I've heard that's good.
I've heard that. Isn't that where Aronofsky got the Black Swan?
I think so.
Inspiration.
Yeah, I think so. That is also British. Michael Powell.
That's a movie name?
Written, produced, and directed by Michael Powell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, anyways. So what's next?
Well, what are we watching next week? Pete, it's your movie.
Okay, yeah, so we're back on Detective June. We're here. We did... What was Tyler's
Chinatown.
Chinatown. Yeah, Chinatown.
Third Man.
The Third Man. And now we're going modern. We're going The Kid Detective.
The Kid Detective.
Yeah!
And you haven't seen this.
I have not seen
You didn't
this.
watch it from any of my recommendations?
No.
Okay. I'm glad because I want everybody to see this fresh.
Did he?
No, I don't think he did.
No. Okay.
I mean, odds are no.
Okay.
Odds are no. He would have told me.
He would have told us a lot of stuff.
I don't know. So this is starring Adam Brody as Abe Applebaum and Sophie Nalise as Caroline. A couple other people you might recognize,
Caroline,
but not really. The cool thing about this is it's an auteur movie written and directed by Evan Morgan.
Okay.
A name you wouldn't recognize because this is his first feature.
Ah.
And I can't wait for the second one. The only thing
They're making a second one?
No, his second one.
Oh,
his
okay.
second
Okay.
feature. The only thing that concerns me is like when you have somebody who made their one project they've been waiting their whole life for, you know. You write this movie, you can't wait. You've really been pitching it around Hollywood. You get a couple small productions and then finally get in front of the people that can fund it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, that's great. We trust you. Here's a bunch of money. Go make your thing. And you make the one vision that you have. Maybe you don't have another great idea in the banks.
Mm-hmm.
But the production of this is really good. It's a comedy. So under subgenres on IMDb, it says bumbling detective, coming of age, dark comedy, quirky comedy, and suspense mystery.
Okay.
Yeah. So the concept, a once celebrated kid detective, now 32, continues to solve the same trivial mysteries between hangovers and a bout of self-pity until a naive client brings him his first quote-unquote adult case to find out who brutally murdered her boyfriend. So that's the concept. Great cover art, great poster, great movie in my opinion.
Okay.
So this is the gem. I was turned on to this from Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, and I'm so happy he did because I've watched this movie many times and it's great. So,
all right.
So we'll watch that next week.
Sweet.
Where is this streaming? The Kid.
I feel like it's always
Detective.
only been renting.
I think it always has been, yeah. I have it on Blu-ray. I'll let you borrow it if you want. Stars.
Sweet.
Son of a bitch.
So nobody.
I would recommend, yeah. There's 13 people that subscribe to Stars. We're very happy right now.
Okay.
But you can rent it for $4 on Amazon, on Apple TV, Fandango at home. I don't think YouTube.
All right.
And I think this is Canadian.
Cool.
I think Evan Morgan's Canadian. So anyway,
Maybe it's South African.
could be.
That's a callback.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm still playing that thing. That's a callback. All right. Anyways. You got anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you to our cool ass yard duties over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather, Michael, and Chris. If you want to support us, you can do so by going over to patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass. The Patreon members help us choose the fourth movie of the month. So I'm going to be putting a posting out today after the show we're finished. It's going to be asking who has a detective movie that they want to offer up for week 4. After my review next week, we have the Patreon pick. It'll be whatever you guys vote on, all levels. If you want to choose the actual topic, next month is going to be whatever we did.
Yep.
Spaghetti Western April, Car Chase May, Detective June. July is going to be guaranteed. This is going to be a Patreon topic.
Mm-hmm.
And they have 2 on the board.
Okay.
The 2 is post-apocalyptic dystopias and 80s and 90s erotic thrillers. So those 2 topics were chosen by that
horny movies.
Our top tier Patreon members, the cool ass yard duties. We only allow 5 at a time. We have 4 right now. So if you want to be a cool ass yard duty and basically help choose the next topic after this round of Patreon selection for the month of July, just join the Patreon at the cool ass yard duty level, and you will be on that list. So
okay.
Until next time. Thank you for joining us as we review The Great Third Man from 1949. Follow us next week as we review The Kid Detective, written and directed by Evan Morgan, which is streaming nowhere except for Stars. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Middle Class Film Class, and at Twitter at Podcast MCFC.
There we go. And we hope Tyler feels better. He's out sick today, so he'll be back next week for Kid Detective. Until next time, we'll see you later.
See ya.